With Kislev being officially confirmed in the Total War Warhammer 3 trailer, my hype cannot be contained. So we're going to be showcasing a few games of the excellent Kislev Reborn mod for Total War Warhammer 2 to help build up some hype here. So let's take a look. I've covered this mod before, but it is an excellent mod, I would say, adds Kislev to Total War Warhammer 2. I'm not expecting that, of course. This will be exactly what they look like in Total War Warhammer 3. I'll do some roster speculation videos later on here, but just to kind of go through the build as it is, we've got some Ungol Horse Archers, along with some Winged Hussars, of course. Nice shock cavalry here with their, wings. We've also got some Spear Infantry and some Sword Infantry. These Gospodar warriors, basic spearmen. We've also got some Ungols here, no shirts, because apparently the only protection you need is bravery, and also some Kossars, some kind of mixed missile axe infantry. I expect, I don't know, we'll see what form the Kislev units actually end up taking, but already Winged Hussars are pushing up, getting a nice charge into these Chosen. We've got some Chaos Marauders here, Chaos Lord up on a dragon, a Sorcerer Lord, I believe. Just a regular Chaos Lord, actually. A Sorcerer separately. We've got some Marauder Horsemen, Chaos Knights, some Hounds and so forth. Yeah, Death Sorcerer up on a Manticore. So the Hussars come in for a charge, lance some of these foul Chaos, and then pull back. In the trailer, we saw the Winged Hussars. They're officially confirmed, as are the Bear Cavalry, like you saw there in the beginning. Another quick hit-and-run charge, and as far as the stats go, in this particular mod, they are pretty fast, right? These Winged Lancers, 80 speed, also 80 armor, I believe. So, in terms of Game 3, I'm curious to see kind of what their stat line ends up being. Based on their models, it does seem like they'll have pretty decent armor, and kind of lorefully, they should be much faster than other shock cavalry. I would expect them to be maybe on par with, like, I don't know, Silver Helms or Dragon Princes, some of the faster shock cavalry, maybe even slightly faster than that, but the Ungols pull up. We're going to unload on the Dragon there. Meanwhile, on the front line, Bear Cav, a little bit of a hit-and-run charge, but this Manticore Sorcerer drops in, so we're going to come after him. Bear's getting a nice surround here. Katarina also coming to support. She's on her little icy horse here. And, yeah, the Archer's shooting in, these Kossars doing some nice damage. The ice magic in the mod here, Tsarina does give Frostbite map-wide every time she casts a spell, which is obviously super strong. Sorcerer gets wrecked there. Breath attack over on the far side into these Winged Lancers. Also in this mod, I would say Kislev's leadership is very high. We'll see how it ends up being in Game 3. You guys who are more up on the lore, let me know. It seems to me that certain units for Kislev should have very high leadership, but I would expect them to be about the same as the Empire, kind of on average. I don't know. You can let me know if that's wrong or right. But these Chaos Knights with lances here, getting multi-charge from different directions by the Winged Lancers. Gospodar Spearmen also kind of helping out here. The Dragon landing once again in this fight. You can see the Chaos Knights getting torn up. My units are also getting torn up, though, but thankfully the Ungol Horse Archers, who... it'll be nice to have a strong skirmish cavalry faction. I will say, Ungols, I'm assuming they're going to be kind of the main feature unit, a core unit, if you will, of Kislev. Currently, I mean, of course, Pistoliers are near and dear to my heart. The Empire does have pretty good skirmish cav. Bretonia's skirmish cav is just awful, but I'm really looking forward to Kislev. In my mind, largely due to the trailer, they do seem like they'll be very much a cavalry-focused faction, which is awesome. Nice magic being pulled down there. We've got these Chosen pushing up the hill. Obviously going to cut through these light boys here. The poor Ungols can't stand up too long to this, but it's Kossars here also coming up. They're going to get involved in melee a little bit here. They do actually have armor-piercing damage, decent melee stats as well. And another nice big ice spike here. The wind spell from Tsarina. I forget exactly what the spells are called. I guess we could look at her unit card here. Yeah, she has immune to psychology and an AoE. Crystal Cloak gives herself 40% damage resistance. She goes below 50% HP. This mod maybe not perfectly balanced, I would say, but it's definitely a lot of fun and very high quality as well. Considering the limitations on modders in this game, like the custom assets in this mod are very impressive. Shout out to the mod author. And of course, I don't expect Kislev to be implemented in Total War Warhammer 3 exactly the same as this mod is implemented. Likely some units will not be the same, but as a result, this mod will probably still have a place should the mod author choose to port it over to Total War Warhammer 3 when the appropriate time comes. I'm sure quite a few of these units and kind of custom assets and stuff would still be a great addition to the Kislev roster, the official Kislev roster. And the Winged Hussars, you guys know on my channel, I'm a big fan of Cav. Heavy cavalry, light cavalry, all kinds of cavalry. And so for me, Kislev does seem like it's going to be an awesome faction to play. Now, they didn't showcase any gunpowder units in the trailer, in the Warhammer 3 trailer, so I don't know if they will actually end up implementing gunpowder for Kislev. I would very much like for them to, but I don't know. You guys will have to let me know if they ever have any tabletop units. I know they had some very, very limited stuff, I want to say, from like a White Dwarf magazine, but very well played away there. Warriors of Chaos eventually crumbling as their leadership kind of gives out. But yeah, very fun one for myself. Tsarina doing some decent damage, also quite tanky because of all her kind of special abilities and effects and so on. Ice magic is kind of a big variable. I would expect that Tsarina will probably be a very strong character, though. If you look at the caster, legendary caster characters that have been released in Game 2, especially kind of the later phases of Game 2, they all have been insanely powerful with, you know, not only good magic, especially if they have a mixed lore, like in the case of Ariel or Ilario, but also very strong bound items, as, again, Ariel and Ilario. But also, like, you know, Teclis and many of the other legendary casters have very strong bound abilities and items, so I'm expecting the Tsarina to be quite competitive, but we'll see. Definitely nothing to it yet. The Gospodars just kind of holding a line, same thing with the Ungles, they did okay. Definitely, though, these Kossars get some great range damage in, and a little bit of melee as well. Winged Hussars, that cost 850 in this mod, so they are generally paying for themselves. The Sons of Ursa, not so much, but the Ungles, man, powerful skirmish cavalry, proper kind of step archer-looking dudes, something I'm super excited for. That's, yeah, should be a good time for sure for Kislev, for Way here. A little bit of a rough time. The Chaos Lord on a Dragon is an expensive and somewhat squishy target. Chosen also could have potentially ground through some more units if they didn't hit army losses, but the Chaos Knights also had a rough time. In general, this build is a little bit outnumbered. Horsemen did fine. The Hounds also paid for themselves, kind of getting into my backline, chewing up some various units, but just not quite enough units on the board for Way. So just to kind of talk a little bit more about this mod and kind of this mod versus how whoops, how the faction will actually be implemented in Total Warhammer 3. We saw the kind of dudes in fur, which I'm assuming is the Ungles, right? We saw them as both infantry and cavalry with bows and with kind of falchions and stuff, so I'm assuming they're going to be horsemen and infantry variants. Now the question is, will they be hybrid missile melee infantry, or will they have different weapon variants, like, you know, your swordsmen and your archers kind of separately? For me personally, I'm a big fan of hybrid units. They can sometimes be quite powerful and spammable, especially like in campaign, like full stacks of Lothric Sea Guard or whatever else. But I mean, it's certainly a cool thing, and I would expect the Ungol Horse Archers to be quite good as well in this particular mod. I mean, they're cavalry, right? But they are 125 range, decent missile strength. If we kind of compare them here to something like Yeoman Archers. Yeah, 20 missile damage. I want to say maybe actually the same. I was saying that Yeoman aren't great, but they actually have a little bit better charge, a little bit better melee attack, slightly faster, less armor, but probably the same missile damage and range. The bows do have a pretty big advantage, especially when facing off against Chaos, Warriors of Chaos. And in general, demons also probably won't have a lot of ranged threats. So Ungol Horse Archers, in order to kind of counter skirmish with Marauder Horsemen, and also to just provide some mobile kind of bow range punching power, I think they'll be a great add for Kislev. And again, I do think they'll be a kind of a core featured unit of Kislev in Game 3. This mod, I will admit, probably one of the things I love most about it is the war wagons. The Kislev, I really hope they do get custom war wagons, because for me, that would be awesome. You look at some other rosters, and like Vampires and Tomb Kings, for example, share a few units, like Norska and Warriors of Chaos share a few units, right? The multiple factions, 4 factions actually, have different giants, right? They functionally are the same, except for Beastman, which is better because it can not suffer forest penalties. But yeah, they're all giants, functionally the same for the most part. So I really do hope that there are some units that are kind of also from the Empire on Kislev, like the war wagons, gunpowder units. Like I said, for me personally, I'm a big fan of gunpowder, so I hope they do have some gunpowder units, but it remains to be seen. Not 100% on that, just a personal preference, but like this Ungol wagon here, for example, I'm going to just quickly load in a custom battle so you guys can see some of the cool stuff in this mod. I will be showcasing a few more games from it in the next few weeks, but yeah, I mostly just wanted to show off the Ungol wagons here because they are awesome, and I want to give some credit to the mod author. So yeah, here's some Ungols. We've got the basic Ungols, the Ungol Horsemasters, who look absolutely amazing. These guys, their armor looks fantastic. I would love to see kind of a upgraded version of Ungol Horsemen for Kislev. Something like this would be awesome. But look at these war wagons, man. They're just covered in like furs. They got these like Kislevite shields and stuff. They've got these nice kind of Clydesdale horses filled with Ungols with bows here. So this is obviously a non-armor piercing missile attack, but does do quite a bit of missile damage overall. Actually, 13 AP per shot's not too bad. Not too bad at all. So, yeah. I don't know if this will actually make it into the Game 3 Kislev roster, but I certainly think it would be awesome. Anyway, that's all for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this one. More Kislev mod content will be coming soon, so stay tuned for that. Let me know, guys, are you as hyped for Game 3 as I am? Might just be my human bias coming through strong, but, I mean, of course, Demons of Chaos are also going to be amazing. I'll see if I can't find... I think there's a mod that might add a handful of demons to the game. I'll see if I can find that and maybe get some games with that as well. But big thanks once again to the mod author. Shout out to authors, I should say. Yeah, thanks to all of you for watching. If you like, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification, all that jazz. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.